special. I mean, a place like Georgia kind of makes you think. It kind of forces you to have a different type of mindset. You know what I mean? Approaching practice, approaching training, just doing everything, finishing, doing everything with your heart, not just doing it just to do it. Having a purpose, doing of why you're doing what you're doing. And just being physical on the football field. I mean, that's just the Georgia way. We like to get down here. We like to play physical on both sides of the ball. So, yeah, I mean, having that mindset, I just think is what makes Georgia Georgia.
What have you learned or taken from the line staff so far?
I mean, honestly, a lot. I mean, they're really cool dudes. Just understanding. They always talk about routine. They talk about routine yesterday, our first day really meeting them. They talk about routine, having a routine for what you do, how you do it, getting in the playbook. Yeah, it's pretty thick playbook, so just being able to digest all that and take it from the meeting to the practice field has definitely been it's been a challenge, but I've enjoyed it. Thank you.
Hey, Jamaree, I want to ask you about Coach Monken's run check system, and how much of an advantage was that for this offensive line to have that ability to check into those different plays?
I think it's kind of made it easier for Stet back there, be able to see pressure and check away from it, or check to a pass, whatever Coach Monken's got implemented into the system. It definitely makes it easier for us. Kind of puts us in position to be able to have good angles in the run game, be able to make certain blocks and certain checks up front, be able to get in the right position to run the right plays. So it definitely puts us in a good position.
Obviously, you played tackle and guard. We know you could also play center if you had to. But what was it like shifting in the national title game from tackle to guard? Was it seamless, or do you got to kind of flip gears in your mind from the tackle playbook to the guard playbook?
I mean, it took a couple of plays to get there. I think probably like my first, second play in, I got down in the wrong stance. I got down in the left-handed stance, and I was like, oh, I hope nobody saw that. So it took a couple of plays, but, eventually got around to it, and I felt comfortable over there. It takes a minute to adjust, but, it wasn't terrible. So, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it for what it was. I mean, we were having fun out there playing, and we wanted to be a physical game. So.
Yeah, that fourth quarter drive where you guys just ran down the field, I mean, what did you attribute that to? How did it just click like that?
Conditioning. Being in shape. I know we talked about that a lot from the first game we played in the SEC Championship, talking about being in good shape, being a more in-shape team, being a more physical team. I mean, just the physicality, being a Georgia football player, that comes with it. I mean, you wouldn't play if you weren't physical. So, just being physical and being in shape were two things that we harped on, and that's what we wanted to do.
Who led that charge? Because I remember people saying that after the first time you played him, it felt like there wasn't a lot of air in there, and all the bigs started running. Was there one player, or was it a staff member, that led those extra gassers you guys started running after the title game?
For sure, just the leadership. I mean, we knew it. I mean, we were there. We felt like we couldn't breathe, and it was hot and stuff like that. So, we took it upon us as leaders and Coach Smart to just say, hey, like, this is something that we want to do. And that's what made this team special. Just the leaders really came together. Every time something was a deficiency, we came together and said, hey, we're going to fix this before it becomes a problem. We can't fix it, or it's too late. So we wanted to take it upon us as leaders, help fix those problems, and for the next time we played them, and we did. So
I want to dial it back now to the last off season, and I remember talking to guys about it, and them telling me that off season, they said, was unbelievable. And I think it was the day before Kirby took you to the pool that even Jordan Davis got pushed over the edge. What was that day like, and what was that moment like for this team, for you guys to hit that point where Kirby realized there was no push left?
I mean, it was special. I mean, I think at that point, it's crazy because I almost forgot it. I'm glad you brought that up about the pool. But we were running at the intramural fields actually, and if you ever been to the intramural fields at Georgia, I mean, they got high grass, it's no trees, it's hot. So it's kind of like running in mud a little bit, and it's hot. There's no shade. So. It was something. I think we ran like probably 3 or 4 days, and I think the pool day, he was like, coaches like to do that thing. We had one more day of conditioning technically, and so we get on the buses, and everybody's like, all right, let's just get through this last day. And then you make that weird turn. It's like, hold on, it seems like, why are we going towards ECV? You know what I mean? And we stopped at Ramsey and ended up getting in the pool, and we had a great time. But yeah, I mean, it's just stuff like that kind of connected our team. But the stuff before that, obviously built the grind and conditioning we were talking about, the mindset of our team, and it built something special.
Jamaree, who do you leave behind? I mean, you've been such a fixture there, and we see a lot of young guys that, you got compared to Andrew Thomas.
Yeah.
Now they're going to get compared to Jamaree Salyer. Who are these guys coming up in the ranks that you're going to be looking for, that Georgia fans should look for?
I mean, a lot of young players, especially on the offensive line, great players. You got Cedric coming back as a leader, Warren Erickson coming back as a leader, Warren McClendon coming back as a leader. So got some talent there. Got some young guys that are going to come up, Mims, Broderick. It's going to be some great players, and they get Tate Ratledge back. I mean, a lot of young guys, a lot of them. I think Dylan Fairchild and Jared Wilson going to come on really nice. Michael Morris is going to be a great player. I mean, I can name them all, you know what I'm saying? Those are my young guys, and they were good to me as young guys to be able to lead them, and I know they'll be great leaders on the team soon. So
this Senior Bowl week, you're kind of reunited with a couple old teammates, Cade Mays and Jermaine Johnson.
Yeah.
What's that been like to work with Cade, and have you had to work against Jermaine yet?
I haven't had to work against Jermaine yet. I've been mostly in the interior. I mean, but working with Cade means it's like an old brotherhood, you know what I mean? It's like working with an old brother, you know? It's a guy that you've been working with for so long, and you just see him again, and it's just kind of like, okay, let's get back to work, you know what I mean? Me and Cade have been knowing each other since before Georgia, so he'll be my brother far after. It's no bad blood or anything like that between us. I mean, we talk about, it's kind of like trading no war stories at this point. We talk about Coach Smart a lot and his tactics and stuff like that. We talk about practice and what it was like. So yeah, it's been fun. It's been a treat for sure.
What's been the immediate takeaway from the national championship for you in your life?
Just the work that goes into it. I mean, the work. I mean, that's all I could really think about at the game, is just how much work it took to actually get there. You look at the young guy, he's like, man, like, I got to do this again. Like, I got to start from, I mean, it's like you win it, but then you got to start right back from square one again. So, it took a lot of work, a lot of groundwork, a lot of wins and losses to kind of get us to a place where it's like, okay, we're going to do it right this time. And I hope those guys, my message to them would be just don't take the opportunity and squander the next 41, you know what I mean? Like take this and learn from it, build another team, understand the groundwork that we laid as seniors, and just learn from it and build your own